Hey YouTube, what's happening? Doing another flashlight video. I know a couple of these lately, but Olight just sent me the new M2T Warrior. Really excited about this light. They have changed their packaging, at least on this one. It's quite a bit different. It's kind of a white box with your stats and everything on the back. It comes in this kind of, that's how the light came, and then underneath you have your accessories. I actually really like it. It's kind of cool. You have a holster and a lanyard, and then your manual. And it also came with this little guy here, read before use, which is basically how to operate your tail switch, which is cool. We'll go over that in a minute, but just want to start out by going over the basics of the flashlight. You're looking at so what it comes with is interesting. It comes with two CR123s, which is weird. Usually these come with 18650s, so this is not a rechargeable flashlight. It's not a rechargeable, there's no magnetic charging, there's no charging port. It came with these two CR123s that aren't rechargeable, but you can run an 18650 no problem. So kind of interesting that it came like that. So your high on an 18650, or your high period is going, on an 18650 is going to be 1200 lumens, your turbo mode. High 600 lumens, medium 250, medium 2, 60 lumens, low 15, and moonlight mode 1 lumen. So you have lots of modes on this. If you run off they included two CR123s, you're looking at about 900 lumens on high, or on turbo, 400 on high, 60 on medium, 15 on low, and so there's actually one less mode as well. There's not medium 2. Kind of interesting. So I would definitely recommend running the 18650. The nice thing about the CR123s is if you leave them, if you left this flashlight like for an emergency flashlight or something, you left these in there, they would last longer. Especially if you had the tail cap like kind of, turn a little bit so the light wouldn't turn on. But I would recommend running 1860 for the max output. So that's what I'll end up doing with that. But I just wanted to show you kind of what comes in the box. It does have a rating of 9500 candela on with the 18650. It has a throw of 195 meters. It is 1.5 meters impact resistant, so it's very tough. IPX8 waterproof. Weighs 3.5 ounces, so pretty light. So it is a lot smaller than the M2 Warrior. Here's a few 18650 lights I want to compare it to that are kind of on the small side. The WowTech BSS V3 that I just put a video up on yesterday. Well, I don't know when this video is going to go live, but it's actually a titch. The Olight is a little, almost identical in size without the strike bezel. Then let's look at the Maker MC11, which is, as far as I know, still the smallest. Yep. This guy is just crazy small for an 18650 that runs on with the tail switch. And then you have the Zebra light, which is obviously a forward switch, so it's going to be a lot smaller. And then the Army Tech C2, which is a little bit bigger. Let's move this over here. So the Olight, the M2T, is quite a bit smaller than the M2 Warrior, and it has some different functionality. I didn't love the M2 Warrior's rear tail switch. It was only turbo mode. It was kind of sunken in. It wasn't as easy to push as this one is, and it just went straight to turbo. This one actually has some pretty cool modes. We're gonna go over the tail switch real quick. So if you just do a soft press, it comes on in high. If you soft press and hold, it stays on. Strobe warning. If you soft press and release, it stays on. If you soft press and hold, strobe warning, you get strobe. So very fast monetary on, just boom, boom, just lightly tapping it. Or if I want to do strobe, just hold down, strobe warning. And then if I want to leave it on, I just give it a solid click and it releases. So the button has very, very good feedback. Like, it's very easy to touch. It doesn't take much pressure at all to activate the monetary on. So that's very cool. It comes with the forward switch as well. You can see we've got it covered by the pocket clip because the forward switch is not locked out. Usually a lot of these lights like this, like the other WowTech, that Army Tech, that Maker, this will not work. This forward switch will not work. And on the Olight, it actually will. Usually you have to turn it on with this end and then run this, so this is completely separate. So you do run the risk of, and let's just go through the modes. That's your low, medium, medium 2. Oh, that's medium 2. High. That's high. Okay, I see. So that. Oh no, it's only gonna have the. I forget. I don't have the 18650, so it's only gonna have the one medium mode. So when you get that 18650 in there, you're gonna have an additional medium mode of 250 and 60 lumens. So it does have a memory on function as well. So, but the thing is, this is not lock out. You can lock out the button, I believe, by holding it down. That's how most Olights work. But one easy way, which I love this clip, this new clip they're doing, is you just push the clip over that, and you're not going to have that turn on. And if you want to just use it as a tactical flashlight and have the monetary on, and then the full on, you know, and then the strobe, you can do that. It does have memory mode, so if I go, actually the tail switch doesn't have memory mode, so that's an interesting thing. So let's say I go, I'm going to set it on, forget the Olight, you have to hold down. So that's a low mode. Then I'm going to turn it off. See how it turned it off, but it also goes right back to high. So this is always going to be high. There is no memory for this. It's always going to go straight to high. If you want to utilize the lower modes, this does have a memory mode. Notice how I just turned it on and it was on low. So the front switch does have memory, the rear switch does not. Kind of interesting. So the rear switch is purely tactical use. It's going to go straight to high or the strobe. Kind of interesting there. A little bit different than typical lights like this. But I like the clip because it'll cover that up if you don't want that to come on in your pocket. You have a bezel up or bezel down carry option. You can also flip this clip and put it up here. Obviously not going to work like that, but you can flip it like this, and that gives you the option if you wanted to carry it deeper in your pocket, but you do run the risk of this coming on in your pocket a little bit unless you lock that out. So you do have quite a few different carry options. Sorry, I thought my phone was on silent. Apparently not. You have quite a few different carry options with the M2T. So I do like that flexibility as well. I will probably carry it the way it came, which is like so I can lock out that button with the clip and then run it bezel down is the way I like to do it. So lots of different options on that, which is really unique. You can see the reflector here. It's running a kind of an orange peel. I like the anodization here on the bezel and then the little notches there. It gives it a nice little, a nice look there. It's running an XPH 35 HD LED, which is it's a good LED actually. It's going to have some good throw on that, with a range basically from 1 to 1200 lumens. So the nice thing about the tail switch as well is, if you're looking at it from a tactical standpoint, it's quiet. It makes no noise. Soft press is just, you have no, it makes literally no audible noise at all. So very cool. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and do some beam shots. We'll roll those in and then we'll kind of wrap up the video. And one thing I do want to mention really quick is the Thyrim Switchback 2.0. This is the newest one. It does work with this light. However, this tail cap on this Olight is a little wide. It still works. It's very snug. I mean, you can get it on there. I'm not going to do it now because it's hard to get on and off. So if you do end up doing the switchback, just keep in mind it is very snug, and be careful of this O-ring. You already trashed one of them when you're screwing it on. It's definitely still doable, and it works. I've had it on there, and I'll show it on there at the end of the video. But it does work with this Olight M2T. So something to kind of keep in mind. I know a lot of people are interested in the switchback, but a lot of people only knew that they worked with Surefires and maybe a Phoenix and a Nightcore. But there's actually tons of lights they work with, including the Army Tech Partner C2 and the Maker MC11, two of the ones I have here. So it does work with the Olight, which is great. That was a huge point. So if you use that, you're obviously going to ditch this pocket clip and you have this as your clip. We'll kind of demonstrate that at the end of the video. Stay tuned. Alright, what's going on? We're outside with the Olight M2T, and we're looking at here, turbo mode now, which is 1200 lumens. You can monetary on that. That's the monetary on. Strobe warning. And then if you want to switch through the modes, you can by selecting the bottom switch. going to be your low mode of 15 lumens. You can see it's pretty low. Your medium 1 or medium 2 of 60. Medium 3 of 250. And your high of 600 lumens. So tons of modes on this. You can see it lights everything pretty nicely. Let's switch over to the shed. We're going to go back on turbo mode. That's your turbo. And let's go ahead and do the pine tree in the back. Got a pretty good throw, pretty focused beam actually. It's got a lot of spill, but it's got a pretty focused hotspot. So this is a pretty cool white emitter here. Let's do some comparison shots. We're gonna do the WowTech BSS3 that I just, oh, forgot I screwed that. There we go. So that's the WowTech. That's the Olight. WowTech, Olight, and then a more neutral, or a very neutral white on the Manker. Oh, that's not on high. There we go. That's the Manker MC11. So you can see that the Olight has a much wider tint. Alright, so here is the indoor beam pattern of the M2T Warrior. That is on turbo, 1200 lumens. You can see it has a pretty concentrated, pretty large hot spot with a good amount of spill. Very neutral, not neutral, excuse me, cool white on that. Here's the Manker. I show these because you can see the huge difference between the tint in these two. They actually have a similar size hotspot. Like Manker actually has even a little bit bigger hotspot. So there's a tint difference just to show you the kind of two different spectrums with the cool white and the neutral white. Alright guys, so there's the beam shots, and as promised, the Thyrum ring on the M2T goes on just fine. It is very snug, and it does not require the washer or the O-ring for the Olight here. I just, like I think I mentioned earlier, make sure you're careful with the washer, or not the washer, the O-ring, so you can keep the waterproofness of the light when you put this on. But works really well, fits well, makes this, it's a really compact light, works really well with this system. I really dig it. So the M2T Warrior is everything I wanted the M2 Warrior to be, and I think this is it's a less expensive light. It's only $70. Doesn't support the magnetic charging. Is the only thing that I would like to have seen them done on this, is done some sort of like USB style charging, but Olight doesn't do it on any of their lights. They always do the magnetic one. That would work with this type of tail switch. So that's a okay sacrifice. You're saving about $30 over the M2 Warrior, and it's smaller, it's more compact. I like the modes better. I like the tail switch better. It works with the Thyrum ring. The M2 Warrior does not. So lots of reasons why I would choose the M2T Warrior over the M2R Warrior. So build quality of Olight is always top notch. The knurling's really nice. The threads are nicely done. I like the blue anodization. You know, they're just classy, good looking lights, and they are tough and durable. And I've had so many of these and never had any issues with any of my Olights. Never had to do any kind of warranty or anything on them. I have a couple of their weapon lights and on guns, and they just function just fine. So I'm definitely very confident in carrying this as a, you know, with my sidearm, as using the Thyrum ring system, and you know, using the methods with the Thyrum ring, which I will do a video on later. But there is some videos on YouTube about that already. But very confident in this light, so very stoked that it works. I like the size, I like the output, everything about it. It's just fantastic. So the only thing I'd like to have seen is maybe a little bit more neutral white, more like a 4500K. This is definitely well over 5,000. as far as the cool white's concerned. So I'd like to see them offered in a neutral white. That would be really good. So as a suggestion to Olight, maybe offer it in a little bit nicer tint for those flashlight enthusiasts like myself that appreciate the more neutral tints on this. But other than that, you know, those are nitpicky things. It's still a great flashlight, especially for its intended use, which is a tactical light. So works good as an EDC. It's not too large, especially if you're carrying it in, like I do, in the 511 Flex Defender jeans in the hip pocket or anything that has a hip pocket. I can see carrying this in your front pocket would take up a lot of pocket real estate, but those kind of pants and such that I've reviewed on the channel have really changed the way I've carried things, and I think I've got a better overall EDC system because of them. So anyway, guys, I'm rambling a little bit, so I'm going to wrap up the video. Thanks for watching. I'll leave a link in the description where you can buy this. $69.99 on Amazon. Fantastic light. Go get yourself one. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.